We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard yesterday the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the exclusive shelter for all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes cannot even be measured by such masters of mystic powers as Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him? No one can be satiated because Krishna is unlimited. His sweetness is unlimited. That tasting of rasa is unlimited. There is no end. Yes. Here at the end of commentary, Sai Maharaj is saying, there is no end to such transcendental discourses. In mundane affairs, there is the law of satiation, but in transcendence, there is no such satiation. Sutta Goswami desired to continue the topics of Lord Krishna before the sages of Naimisharanya, and the sages also expressed their readiness to hear from him continuously. Since the Lord is transcendence and his attributes are transcendental, such discourses increase the receptive mood of the purified audience. Tanno bhavam vai bhagavat pradhano mahata meikanta parayanasya harer udaram charitam vishuddham Shushrushatam no vitanotu vidvan. O Sutta Goswami, you are a learned and pure devotee of the Lord, because the personality of Godhead is your chief object of service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above all material conception, for we are anxious to receive such messages. Supreme Lord's form is beyond our imagination. He is better than we can imagine. As much we can imagine something good, he is beyond that. He is better. It is totally beyond imagination. So by hearing about him, also you can realize him, you can have contact with him, you can relish his transcendental sweetness. Savai Mahabhagavatah Parikit Yena Pavargakyam Adabra Buddhi Gyanena Vayasaki Shabditena Bheje Kagendra Dvaja Pada Mulam. O Sutta Goswami, please describe those topics of the Lord by which Maharaj Parikit, whose intelligence was fixed on liberation, attained the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of Garuda, the king of birds. Those topics were vibrated by the son of Vyas, means Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Here it is stated that Maharaj Parikit, his intelligence was fixed on liberation, means his goal of life was one. Intelligence will decide what is worthy, what is not, what one should do, what is not, what one should not do. That. So he fully understood the purpose of this life is liberation from this material existence and attaining the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was fully fixed. And everything is then adjusted to this target, all activities and everything. Otherwise, we will our Gurudev told, we will be frustrated. If we try to be happy and to remove suffering by any other idea and effort, ultimately we will be frustrated. We will not get. But only by service of Krishna. So this sort of intelligence we can awaken by association of real devotees. This is the only thing worth striving for. Put our effort. Tanna param punyam asamvritartham akyanam atyadbhuta yoganishtam akyahi anantacharitopapanam parikhitam bhagavata bhiramam. Thus, please narrate to us the narrations of the unlimited, for they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Parikshit, and they are very dear to the pure devotees, being full of Bhakti Yoga. Yoga Nishtam, full of Bhakti Yoga. Suta Uvach, Aho Vayam Janma Britodya Hasma Vridhanu Vrityapi Viloma Jata Dosh Kulyam Adhim Vidunoti Shigram Mahata Manam Abhidhana Yoga. Later in 11th canto we will hear Krishna told to Uddhava, there are only 3 paths for upliftment of jivas given by me. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga is for those who are on that level of consciousness. They think if I get some material benefit in this world and in heaven, that is the goal. So they are eligible for Karma Yoga, because in Karma Yoga they will say if you do this yagya, you will get this result. And they will get result, they will get faith. So they will, but because they are regulated by Shastra, they're also getting some upliftment, some purification. And such karmis are dear to Krishna. In Upadeshamrita, it is stated that such sat karmis, those who are following Vedic karma, they are dear to Krishna. They are better than those who just do sense enjoyment. They earn money and they do sense enjoyment at any cost, even doing sinful activities, immoral, violence, everything. But those who are karmis, actual karmis, they are also very rare in this world. They will accept Vedic regulation. But higher than these karmis, when karmis, they will understand that this is all temporary. It cannot fulfill, and you will get suffering when you lose that thing. When they go to heavenly planets also, there is much suffering when they have to come down again. Our Gurudev also told in this world, if someone becomes prime minister, like a big position, or president of some country, then after some time, when he will lose that position, he will get so much suffering. He does not want to give up that. So he will get more suffering than the one who was never in that post. But because he got some taste of that like being more powerful and like this. When he will lose, he will have to suffer. Like that in heaven also, you will find in Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra how a jiva will, when giving up body, if having such activities, how, by what path they will reach heavenly planets, but after that piety will be exhausted, by what path they will fall down into this world and they will have to be born by rain and into grain and into man and woman and coming out and like this, how this is circulating. So, but those who are really doing karma nicely, then they will eventually purify their heart and that gyan will awaken in their hearts, as we heard from Gita, that I am eternal. There is eternal reality. This is all temporary and I am not that. And also when I am attached to non-eternal, I get suffering when I lose that thing. So Gyan is I am spirit. I am Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. And I have to be liberated from this attachment. So I have to practice vairagya. Brahmacharya, celibacy, then samadama, to control senses, mind, not stealing, lying, and studying Upanishads and this Svadhyaya, all these practices and meditation to detach yourself, vairagya, to liberate yourself. That is Jnana Yoga, those who want liberation. They are more there to Krishna because they have no worldly desires. You will find in Upadeshamrita by Rupa Goswami. They are more there. But those who awakened faith in Krishna, that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the master of all, shelter of all, Nitya Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Bahunam Jovidadati Kaman. He is the one eternal among many eternals, one conscious among many conscious. He is providing for all. His Supreme Lord. We are His. One who will get such faith and will want to hear about Him. He is eligible for Bhakti Yoga. Those who want to hear Harikatha without envy. Why he will only enjoy, that is envy. And Buddhists and they cannot tolerate there is some supreme being to whom we are eternally subordinate. Buddhists, they cannot tolerate this. No, there is nothing like that. Nirishvat. And the Gyanis, they may accept for the sake of some sadhana for some time, they may accept there is some being supreme, but ultimately I will be same with him, with God. That God is only one who realizes that I am Brahman. So when I will realize, also I will be same. There is no difference. So they cannot accept, they are envious of Supreme Lord. They cannot accept eternal subordination. But those who have this lack of gathering enough Sukriti, they can accept this truth, that there is some Supreme Being, we are all eternally related to Him. As servants, He is eligible for Bhakti Yoga. So here, they are having this. So they requested please narrate to us the narrations of the unlimited, means Supreme Lord. For they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaj Parikshit, and they are very dear to the pure devotees, being full of Bhakti Yoga. Devotees, they are always eager to hear the name, qualities, pastimes, forms, associates, abode of Supreme Lord, knowing we are His eternal Son. They always want to hear. That is the symptom of Bhakta and Bhakti Yoga. But if someone is envious, he cannot tolerate. So that is why Bhagavatam is for Nirmatsaranam Sadam, those who have no envy. They can accept there is someone superior to me. Sri Sutta Goswami said, O God, although we are born in a mixed caste, we are still promoted in birthright simply by serving and following the great who are advanced in knowledge. Even by conversing with such great souls, one can, without delay, cleanse oneself of all disqualifications resulting from lower births. We get birth according to our previous karma. But that does not mean that one cannot worship Supreme Lord. Demon boy said to Prahlad, we are demons, how we can worship? He said, you cannot do those, you did not take that Gayatri, Brahminic initiation, all this, but for Bhagavad Dharma, for worshipping Supreme Lord, there is no any such requirement. Anyone can worship Supreme Lord because we are all His sons. Any son has the right to call his father. So Bhagavad Dharma is universal. It is for all. You can worship Supreme Lord. He is your dearest. So, irregardless of what kind of birth one has, one can worship Supreme Lord, and he can also improve his birthright and also remove all disqualifications by some birth. They can cleanse. How? Even by conversing with such great souls, those who are advanced in knowledge, means pure devotees. There is example when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur was in Sarbhog, Assam. And that time there was a preparation that mat will be opened and the Dita installation will be there. So Prabhupada was going on bullock cart, going that, bullock cart was going this side and he was sitting on bullock cart looking in opposite direction. So one boy, 12, 13 years old, he was walking beside him and Prabhupada asked him, what is your name? Which class do you read in? From where is your village? Like this, he spoke with him. And the boy was answering. Then the boy had to go this side and Prabhupada that side. The road divided. Then Prabhupada told him, we will open that mat there, so you please come to that festival. And he departed that direction and the boy went this direction. After some moments, when there was no contact anymore with Prabhupada, then he suddenly felt so much separation, grief from him. Where did he go? I lost. Where did he go? Why? Because pure devotees, they're always blissful, being always engaged in the service of Krishna. So whoever comes in contact with them, they also get that some drops of that nectar they can feel. Even like he was not speaking any Harikatha, speaking this like so-called worldly talks. But the point is that Prabhupada is on transcendental platform realization. So he's always blissful. And whoever is in contact with him, he will feel that. And another thing is, even if he speaks about this world, because he is establishing Advaya Gyan Tattva, Achintya Bheda Abheda. If he speaks about this world, he is also seeing Krishna. Because he sees there is nothing else but Krishna. Everything is Krishna. His energies and him. He perceives non-dual reality. So when whatever he speaks, that is also Harikatha for him. He cannot speak anything else but of Supreme Lord. He's seeing everything in relation to him. This is also his creation, but he has direct experience that this is his creation. We don't see, but he has. So when he speaks about this, in his speaking, this realization is also there, that it is Krishna's creation. So this boy went to home. It is a fact. His name is Kamalakanta Gosai that time. He told, I will go to that festival. Then they were Brahmins by birth and high caste Brahmins, and they were a family of gurus, those who are teaching others. So the parents, they told him, no, you cannot go there. Gauriya Mat, everyone is mixing together. All castes, they are mixing, they are eating, everything. You will lose everything. You will lose your caste. You should not go. The point is they had no understanding that they are all practicing bhakti yoga. They are all engaged in the service of Krishna. That is Vaishnavism. It has nothing to do by these birth castes. All are eligible for devotion, but they are not able to understand. So they said, you will lose your caste. He said, no, I have to go. I want to go. I want to meet him. He became attached. Then they said, no, you cannot go. You will lose your caste. And also we are such family, we are gurus of society. So also you will lose this. You will lose all money. You will lose your position. You will lose this guruship. Everything you will lose. You should not go. He said, I will go. I have to meet him. Then they said, if you go, then don't come back. Even after hearing all this and knowing that he will lose all worldly these benefits and position, everything he will lose, still he was desiring, I have to meet him. Why? Because here it is written, even by conversing with such great souls, one can without delay cleanse oneself of all these qualifications resulting from lower births, or cleanse oneself from this understanding of I am so qualified by some worldly birth. But he was not interested in that. So in spite of his family threatening him, he went there. Then later he became disciple. So if someone gets this sadhu sangha, then he can understand the value of devotion to Krishna, which is superior to any karma kant, jnana kant, or anything. All those benefits you get by karma kant or by jnana kant, this bhakti is supreme. But how we will understand this? By sadhu, by association of devotee, one who is tasting that. He can convey that to us. Kutah punar grinato namatasya mahata maikanta parayanasya yo nanta shaktir bhagavan ananto mahat gunatvat yam anantam ahu. There was one lady married with one man. He was a very bad character, always oppressing and doing sinful activity, all this. But she was disciple of our Parang Gurudev. So she was practicing tolerating everything, doing bhajan and practicing Trinada Pisunichana, Tarora Pisahistana, Namani Namanatena, Kirtana Sadahuri. In her family circumstance, she was practicing. So by her bhajan, then he also get that, once he get that luck, that I want to see that man whom you are following. So he went to him, to one Harikatha was there organized, Parang Gurudev was speaking, and he was speaking Harikatha in Hindi. It was in the Dehradun, I think. And in between, he said one sentence in English, our Parang Gurudev. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. He was explaining about the law of karma, and then he said this in English. Then this sentence touched that man, his heart. Then he understood, oh, I'm doing so many bad activities. What result I will get? That touched him and he could realize this is not good. Then he also surrendered to Parang Gurudev and he also became devotee. So by the association of devotee, it can happen. In Shastra, we hear how Narad rescued that Mrigari hunter and Ratnakar who were robbing, and Angira, the Chitrake, all these. But these are also we are seeing now. When someone meets a real devotee, then that will have some effect on him. And what to speak of those who are under the direction of the great devotees, chanting the holy name of the unlimited, who has unlimited potency. The personality of Godhead, unlimited in potency and transcendental by attributes, is called the Ananta, unlimited. So even those who are under the guidance of pure devotees, they are chanting the name of unlimited, Ananta. What to speak of them? They are also so great. And they can purify themselves and purify others. Etavatalam nano suchitena gunair asamya natishayanasya hitvetaran prartayato vibhutir yasyangri renum jushate nabipso. It is now ascertained that he, means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is unlimited, and there is none equal to him. Consequently, no one can speak of him adequately, fully. You cannot speak. Great demigods cannot obtain the favor of the goddess of fortune even by prayers. But this very goddess renders service unto the Lord, although he is unwilling to have such service. you will find in Vedanta Sutra, is it possible, because first it starts, who is the source or who is the cause of everything, or from whom Janma Dyasya Jata. Janma Adi means beginning with Janma means creation, maintenance and destruction. It is by him only, that is Brahma, means supreme Brahma. You have to inquire about him. So then the question is, can anyone describe him? Is it possible to describe him by words? Then there are so many arguments from different scriptures that speech cannot reach him. Mind cannot reach him. They come disappointed. They want to reach, but they come disappointed back. So many arguments, but ultimately Siddhanta is you can describe him, but not fully, because he is unlimited. Otherwise Shastra would be useless. So we can get some description from Shastra and from realized devotees. And that is enough for us to get this idea, some idea we can get about him and this world and relation and what we have to do. So when you do that pure devotion to him, then by the power of that devotion you will get the realizations. Then those realizations, they have no end, because he is unlimited. And those who are fully surrendered to Krishna, they are beyond Maya. There is no defect in their description, no Mayic defect. So that can purify the whole world. And they can be shelter of disciples. They are not speaking any Maya talk, only Supreme Lord. As he is. Their Harikatha is non-different from Krishna. Shastra is also non-different from Krishna. So that can give us shelter and proper guidance, and they are also boldly speaking. But at the same time, they are always also thinking, I don't know about him, because he is unlimited. So no one can know him fully at any time. But that does not mean that there is any insufficiency in the sense of material impurities there. No, they are beyond. Those who are pure devotees, what they are speaking is perfect, but it is still not complete, because no one can. So that is helpful to us. And Shastra, we can get that grace to go in the right direction. Also, you will find in Jivadharma that Babaji Maharaj, he's a Siddha of Baba, realized so. And they are asking some questions and he's answering everything and removing doubts and encouraging them. Then he said, but I'm giving you some indications, but you will have to realize this by transcendental realization, that's Samadhi. And then further, they were in later chapter, they were asking some questions. Then he also said that I cannot describe also. I cannot describe. And also they were asking then in Vastu Siddhi, what will, then he said, I cannot describe. When I will attain Vastu Siddhi, means when I will give up this body and attain that type of realization, then I can tell. But now I cannot tell you. How I can tell you? So we should not be black and white. No, he cannot be described. He can be described, but we should also not think that only by memorizing some descriptions it is the same as, or imagining what these descriptions mean, it is the same as actually seeing that, realizing. So we should hear Harikatha, Shastra, and practice. Then all realizations will come. Athapi yat pada. So when you will get some glimpses, then you will also understand why Shastra is speaking in this way. What is the meaning of this? Before, you may not understand what is this, or you may think you understand, but you are not understanding. You may think, based on your imagination, you may think it is like this. But once you get some glimpses, then you can understand, oh, this is what is meant. This is what is meant. And why, you will understand why they described in this way. So sometimes we may also think, I understand, but it is not like that. Many times there are some descriptions that you will be confused. What is the meaning here? Srila Maharaj also told that all these shlokas of Bhagavatam or Shastra, they're living beings, they're transcendental sound. So he said, if sometimes you cannot understand something, then you have to surrender. Pray, surrender. Then if you are sincere, then by their grace that meaning will be revealed to you. And that meaning also has many levels or many varieties it can come, like with the mantra. That Rig Veda mantra our Gurudev gave for us to remember daily, Tad Vishnu Paramang Padam Sada Pashanti. That mantra, Gurudev told, I am telling you one meaning now, which is important for your practice now, for understanding that Supreme Lord is eternal, worshippers are eternal, and worship is eternal. So you will be rescued from Mayavad philosophy. But he said, but according to your submission, the meaning of mantra will give many, you will get many meanings by meditating on that mantra. So he said, by meditating on this mantra, I can write a book like this. Like this he showed with the fingers. Only by meditating on this mantra, I can write a book like this. We may think, I know what is the word Diviva, I know what is the meaning. What is the meaning of Pashyanti? I know meaning. That is only external meaning, dictionary meaning. But that is transcendental sound. So when you will cultivate submission, then you will start to realize the meanings. And there is no end. Athapi yat pada nakava srishtam jagat virincho pahritarha nambha sesham punati anya tamu mukundat ko nama loke bhagavat padartha. Saisham. Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. That is Ganga, Ganga Devi. This very water, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. he hold it on the head. When Ganga descended to this world, Bhagirath wanted to rescue his ancestors by purifying effect of Ganga. Their ashes were there in Ganga Sagar. Later it became named Ganga Sagar, there near the ocean. So he had to bring Ganga all the way to that side, that Ganga will touch them, then they will be liberated from their sins, the predecessors. So he was worshipping Brahma, Bhagirath, and Brahma said, okay, I will release Ganga to this world, but who will catch her? There's a big pressure. Who can catch? No one can catch. Then he gave indication that Shiva can catch. He can hold. So Shiva came and he held on his head, and then slowly Ganga was coming. Gangara parasha hoile paschate pavam. If you touch Ganga or Ganga touches you, you will be purified. Narottam Thakur is singing. Gangara parasha hoile paschate pavam. Darshane pavitra korai tomar gun. But your qualities are such, O Vaishnava Thakur, that one can be purified just by seeing you. No need of touching, just seeing. Darshan, getting darshan of Vaishnava, pure devotee, realized soul, in whose heart Krishna is always manifest. Seeing him is, you are purified. Yatranurakta sahasaiva dhira vyapohya dehadishu sangamudam vrajanti tat paramahamsyam antyam yasmin ahimsa pashama sadharma. Self-controlled persons who are attached to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna can all of a sudden give up the world of material attachment, including the gross body and subtle mind, and go away to attain the highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which non-violence and renunciation are consequential. Self-controlled persons means they will engage themselves in the service of Krishna. They will become attached to him through service. So because of that attachment, they can naturally, immediately get detachment from all non-eternal things, automatically. Our Gurudev gave that example. In India, there is one bad quality molasses from sugar cane, that gur like, but bad quality. And Gurudev gave, he said the name trickle. Trickle. It has some mixture, not refined, so that is also not good for health. But some sweetness is there. So one person is eating that because some sweetness is there. If you tell him, this is not good, you should give up this, it is not good for your health, then he will say, yes, okay, yes, I will give up, but secretly he will take. Why? Because there is some sweetness there and he wants sweetness. But if you give him that pure gur or mishri, that sugar candy, tasting that sweetness, he can easily give up that trickle without any problem. If you have superior taste, then you can give up a lower taste. So because they are getting that real relation with Supreme Lord, real attachment and real bliss, immediately they can give up this all attachment, including their subtle body, gross body. We want to fight till death to protect, but they are not attached because they know this is not who I am. This is cloth only, not I. I am related to Krishna, I am his eternal servant, so they can give up. But those who are sadhakas, Bhagavatam says, according to the degree of your service, that much you get taste, that much you get renunciation. Like when you eat food, if you take one morsel of food, 3 things will happen automatically. Your hunger will be removed, pain of hunger will be removed to that degree. And to that degree you will get nourishment of body, and to that degree you will get satisfaction. 3 are happening simultaneously by that one bite, and then second bite like this. So the more you eat, these 3 things up to that degree will go. The same thing, how much you will do bhajan of Krishna worship, that much your devotion will increase. You will become attached. To that degree you will get realization of him, and to that degree you will get vairagya, renunciation or detachment from this world automatically. So here they can go away to attain the highest perfection of the renounced order of life, by which ahimsa pashamah, that renunciation and non-violence, are automatically there. One who is devoted to Krishna, how he can do any violence to any living entity? He is seeing them all as related to Krishna. Our Gurudev said, if you love one person, then you are loving him with all his parts. If you say, I love you, but you cut his hand, then what kind of love is this? It is not love, actual. Like that, real devotees, they can see these jivas, they belong to Krishna. They're his parts. So how I can cut them? It is automatically. And he cannot have any desire to exploit. Everything belongs to Krishna. So how I can exploit for some selfish purpose other living entities like this? Those who are conditioned souls and they are not in the category of moral atheists or moral theists, they are immoral, then they are always thinking, let me get as much as possible by hook or by crook these worldly things. On some pretext, I will say, I will try to present that I'm doing good to them, but I will plunder them by some trick, cheating. So one who is devotee, he cannot do that. It is unnatural and impossible, undesirable. But conditioned souls, some, they are living for this. They think this is the purpose of life. To exploit as much as you can at the cost of others. And there will be no consequences, because who has seen God? What is karma? This is all fictitious. Only I have to grab as much as possible and I will be happy. So tomorrow we will hear about Srivas Thakur, his appearance day, and also Srila Bodhayan Gosai Maharaja's grandfather, the disciple of Prabhupada. He's also household devotee, but pure devotee. So we'll hear about them tomorrow.